This is an interesting conversation, I promise you, that we're about to have. The mindset is anyone can do it, and now she is empowering women, minority-owned businesses, really anyone to do the same. Dr. Karwana D is a government contracts strategist, an author, transformational speaker, all those things. She is here to tell us how we can get in on this wealth game a little bit. So first of all, welcome to Detroit.
Thank you.
Coming to us from the West Coast.
I love it. Yes, yes.
Let's just explain to people a little bit of your story, your background, how you learned so much about this exact topic.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started my business probably about 22 years ago as a video producer as well as a photographer. And like most small business entrepreneurs, you know, they start their business thinking, and because we were taught some of the wrong things, we're thinking that it's going to take 2 to 5 years to grow. Well, nobody really has 2 to 5 years to grow, especially if this is what you're going to be doing full time, right?
Right.
And so, but for the first 5 years, because that's all I knew, I did that. And it took me a long time to really realize that it just was not working. So I was barely making ends meet. And I remember very clearly, I couldn't even purchase a pair of shoes for my son. And for me, it was like, I know that entrepreneurship is the way to financial freedom, but what am I doing wrong? And so I actually met a billionaire who was willing to share the information to me that you're selling to the wrong person or persona. The government actually has money for small business owners, and if you actually pitch your service or your product to them, because they literally buy everything, you can actually change your life. And so that
did change your life.
And it literally changed my life, yes.
Okay, so to me, entrepreneurship seems so overwhelming. Like, I wouldn't even know how to do it. And then when you talk about getting government contracts, so you're talking about making the government, whether it's local, state, national, federal, your customer.
Yes, it's a big concept to grasp, and most people would never think of the government as their client. But according to the Small Business Act, of course, if you read the Small Business Act, it says that a percentage of all the government spend has to go to small business and small business concerns. Now, that small business concern is made up of small businesses who are women-owned, who are minority-owned, who are just disadvantaged in business regardless of your nationality, who are veterans and LGBT, and all of those groups that have been marginalized or socially, you know, just left out, disenfranchised, right? So a percentage of their spend. And mind you that the government prints money, so you can imagine the spend. The U.S. federal government in 2019 spent over $6 trillion on, and this is the federal level alone, on business products and services, and so that's a lot.
So come on, what's the first step though? I mean, that seems so daunting.
It can be daunting. There's a lot, right?
Yeah.
And especially with such large lucrative contracts that you can win with the government, it's not an easy route. But I always sum it up into 4 easy steps. Number one, in order to land a premium client like the government, as your client, you have to become a premium entrepreneur, which means that you have to have your ducks in order. You have to have all of your legal documentation, all of your business documents, all of your financial documents, and you have to know what it is that you want to sell, right? So that's the first step. Having a strong business foundation is very, very key. The second step is any socioeconomic disadvantages that you have, whether it's maybe you serve in a specific community or a certain zone or whatever, or maybe you've just never made 6 figures in your business. That makes you at a huge disadvantage. So there are certifications that allows you to participate in specific spending, certain spending, specifically because of those things.
Okay.
And then the third and fourth step is marketing. You have to market yourself to the government, let them know how you can serve, because it's all about serving them, right? In every capacity, whether it's a product or a service that you're offering. And then the fourth step is proposals, right? So there's opportunities every single day coming down the pipeline for small businesses, and you have to actually respond to those opportunities. But you got to do the first 3 steps first.
Yeah, you have to know what you're doing.
Yes.
I mean, you have to have a solid plan and then say, look at what I can offer you.
Absolutely.
Is there a website or something where people can go and just get some ideas on how to broach this?
Yeah, so I have actually a website. I have a training. It's a 5-day training. It's govconchallenge.com. So govconchallenge.com. That's where you would go. I actually show entrepreneurs how to get started with this whole and how to approach this whole beast, right? To make it easy for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also have She's Got Goals as
She's
a
got goals.com. You can find it there as well. She's got goals.com. You can link to the book. You can link to the training as well there.
Yeah, and a fun little book that gives you a nice little step-by-step guide. But again, you got to put in the work and be ready.
You got to be willing to put in the work. But the government, they definitely want to partner with, small business entrepreneurs and help you kind of redistribute the wealth back into the places where it belongs.
It's really an intriguing idea. Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing
the
knowledge with us. We will be right back.